something that they just took over the Fnatic series with, so...
I would say Phoenix is definitely going first too for either team.
Yeah, and Beastmaster, what do we think?
As always, I'd be surprised if we didn't see any hero touch him with either like a pick or a ban.
Yeah,
I think I'd be really surprised if OG let the Lifestealer through. I mean, how, like Peter said, it's the original Lifestealer. That guy's been playing it for 3 years, whether it was good or bad. Almost like Alliance.
It's a how hero. There's like Spectre, Weaver, Lifestealer, and then there's like, what, Luna is another how hero that we...
That's like no.
Steady on, Peter.
That's like a how tilt hero. It's like, oh, my team is losing. We're not doing well. Just pick me, Luna.
He has a way of ending up on whatever hero he wants to play. And for him right now, some of his best heroes are some of the best heroes in the meta. So things are working out well for him.
Okay, so we're going to get an IO ban, which Crook won't get to use, and also the Beastmaster for OG, so nothing too surprising.
And Newbee do have first pick here, so if you don't ban Lifestealer, pretty high chance they take it, but perhaps OG want to give it away and have a plan to deal with it.
Lifestealer's a little tricky because that's a hero that can fight early and fight into this OG death ball. I don't think they would. I would have guessed maybe they would let Beastmaster go through because OG likes to group up and Beastmaster's not so great against 5-man push, but it seems they're not going that route.
So no Conk Phoenix.
No crit Phoenix either.
No fly Phoenix either.
But
no Phoenix.
No Phoenix.
Death to the Firebird.
They'll let the Spirit go.
Well, let's see if OG does ban the Lifestealer out. Would you ban the Lifestealer here?
What I don't even know what I do, man. My life's a mess.
It's okay, Peter.
Nah, I think you ban it.
You're fine. You're safe with us.
Oh, don't give up.
I think Newbee will first pick it, though. Yeah.
There you go.
So maybe they have
no
a plan.
surprises there. And OG, obviously, they've mock drafted a lot. They get the Miracle Invoker.
I think that may have pleased a few people here.
Yeah, it's an exciting hero, but they've already picked 2 of their cores. That's their offlaner and their mid, and that's giving away a lot early in the draft. So.
Yeah, you like to leave those until last, don't you? You prefer to leave them like last 2 picks.
Those are just like the support heroes. They're less counter picky. Like you can have cores that are just really good against other cores, and I mean, right now we might see something early to counter the Batrider, maybe
Disruptor,
Disruptor, Bench.
Yeah, Disruptor's had a very
Tide
successful
Hunter.
tournament as
Tide
well.
Hunter can be pretty decent. Batrider's like, Batrider is good on paper against Lifestealer, but it's not that great. Like, Lifestealer's just gonna survive that lasso, pop out, rage, open wounds, and start hitting a target.
The Chuan
It's gonna
Lion.
be back to full HP.
I think a lot of other teams would go for the Venge or the Disruptor here, but Newbee just have so much faith in the Chuan Lion.
You just need to have some way to address this Batrider at some point during the game, whether it's having that ability to save someone from lasso, or if you can just group up and take towers and maybe push before Batrider has his full arsenal at Blink and Force Staff. If Batrider with just a Blink isn't that scary. He's gonna blink in, lasso someone. If you can hex him or stun him, he's gonna die, and you're gonna be able to get that hero out of that lasso.
Just a note on Disruptor as well. He is the most picked now.
Do you know how his win rate is?
61.7.
And most picked. That's pretty
it's
sick,
pretty
actually.
crazy. And Lifestealer is second with 32 picks, 68.7% win rate.
And beyond the stats, like almost every Disruptor game I've seen, the hero is, in a lot of cases, just straight up winning the game with
very
key
effective.
glimpses. So it's not like, oh yeah, he's a high win rate, but it's incidental. He is a key part of those wins.
Yeah, not even just the glimpses, getting a key hero in his ultimate, like just completely turns around the fight.
He seems to be having a ton of success with Lifestealer, and that's mainly because the counter to Lifestealer is Force Staff, and you can't Force Staff anyone out of kinetic field, so Lifestealer gets to attack someone for the entire duration of his rage, and generally they die if that happens.
Also really good with Slardar because you amp damage, you have the vision to set up the glimpse and start the fight.
Yeah, that's true
We've seen
as well.
quite a few teams doing that. So OG have revealed 2 cores here, so presumably you're banning supports, right?
Yeah, maybe, or that last core. Like, well, Newbee still has 2 cores to pick. If there's any, like, counters to Invoker that are in the pool, I'm not too sure. Like,
Doom was mentioned. Do you consider him much of a counter anymore?
I think Doom is a hero that's really fallen off in popularity, and for good reason. I think he's a little bit underwhelming. They continue to nerf him every patch, and just way out of favor in my opinion.
Why do you think they banned Weaver? Because if you assume, because both Lifestealer and Weaver are how heroes.
Newbee's also been playing a lot of Tricore, like I said, and KPI has actually played it in a lot of games in the offlane, whether it's kind of that MVP style with like a Lich dual offlane, or I've even seen them do, like in like one game they went up against Ohio on Furion and they did Lifestealer offlane with an Earth Spirit roaming, and the Lifestealer just kind of 1v1 the Furion. So I think, like when I was talking about earlier, they're going to first do their core in Lifestealer, Lifestealer, and then they're expecting OG to counterpick the Lifestealer, and then they're going to use their final pick or their final 2 picks to counterpick the cores that OG has selected.
Yeah, and Weaver, if he gets decent farm, is quite difficult for Batrider to deal with.
Exactly.
Great against Batrider.
Weaver also lanes well versus Batrider and can almost, you know, he can in some cases solo that lane.
So one more ban here for Newbee. They did remove the Void. Good lockdown for a Lifestealer. You mentioned potentially taking a lot of fights when Newbee are playing a bit of a greedier tricore. Someone who could do it. Also, the Jug gets banned too.
I think that was a good ban. That OG has always had some sort of like healer in their draft, and Jug would kind of complement that kind of style of drafting or replace maybe a Dazzle or a Wisp that we may not see in the draft.
No Tail's also been having a lot of success on that hero in their last series.
So generally for OG, we touched on it a bit. I know you talked about it before the panel. They like defensive supports here. We haven't seen any support. So out of like some of the big ones right now, what is your go-to?
I'm still a big fan of Vengeful Spirit. It's a hero that does really, really well against Lifestealer. Whether it's swapping a hero to save someone or just putting on Tear and then helping your team pump out some physical damage to put down Lifestealer through his rage.
I'd be surprised if Fly right now didn't pick a Dazzle for himself. It's great single target save, and Newbee right now is very single target oriented.
That's true. Lion has been kind of one of my actually preferred heroes against Dazzle though, because you're able to burst someone with magic damage before maybe that Shallow Grave comes out.
Sometimes it's tough to get the grave out.
Exactly.
So pretty considered draft so far from OG. They're using all the talent that they've got.
I think they'll take a support here. They've already taken 2 cores. It'd be really weird.
It's a pretty good.
And there's the Venge.
Yeah.
Also kind of a deny pick, you know, protects their Batrider lasso a bit.
It also limits Newbee's Roche potential a bit, though they still have plenty of picks to go.
Increases their ability to push buildings, take Roche themselves. Pretty overall safe pick here, I like
So
it.
what is the Lifestealer delivery mechanism of choice here, do you think? Batrider's already been picked. Puck has been a go-to for some teams. Slardar has been kind of popular.
Puck, Slardar, I still wouldn't rule out Tidehunter for their offlaner. It seems like, I think maybe might see Tide as like the last pick. Still looking really, really good this game. That could be a decent vehicle for the Lifestealer, not my favorite. Let's see what else we have.
There's the Slardar.
There is a Slardar.
I think that's going to be...
So there's your Roche potential right now.
Yeah, there's your Roche potential, there's your Lifestealer bomb.
Do you think it's a tough laning stage here for Slardar so far?
Well, Newbee's always given when they run this tricore, it's always a tough laning stage. And they've been kind of just trying to get like the scrappiest lanes possible, and just getting through laning phase is kind of their goal. So if they're able to do that, I think they'll have a very good early game. They may or may not go for like that Lich that we've been seeing, just to kind of help that Slardar out in the offlane, or whether it's the Lifestealer in the offlane. I think it's going to be one of those two. Sometimes it might be nicer to give that Slardar the better laning phase so he can get that blink and actually be useful. Lifestealer is a hero that needs considerably less farm to start getting active in the early game.
You can always head into the jungle a lot easier than Slardar as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and they definitely have the option to run How on the Lifestealer in the offlane. He did it in the last game against Fnatic. So that's where they can be very flexible with KP's hero. Oh, she going for the Rubik?
It's a crit special, one of his better heroes. So pretty good against Tidehunter, but I don't think they're going to pick Tide anymore now that they have Slardar.
So this is interesting. You said that OG usually runs a healer in their lineup, and I would expect that to...
I don't think they're going to have one this time.
Maybe they get like a mech carrier, but more likely it's a
no-tail hero. So
no-tail hero.
Doesn't usually buy mech.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the available no-tail hitters are still out there.
Gyro. He's played a bit.
Really not a fan of Gyro this game, but yeah, it's out there.
How about Lycan? Do you like Lycan here?
I just don't think that's a no-tail hero.
He's played it, I think, once this tournament.
Really?
Yeah, versus...
It's not, I mean, it's not
Na'Vi.
It's a pretty good Lycan game. It's very, very good against Lifestealer and Lion. Not the best against Slardar, but still relatively good. He might also play Sven, but...
Sven could now be very good.
Yeah, it can definitely be good, and it's a very no-tail-esque hero, in my opinion.
Pretty heavy reliance on physical damage for Newbee right now. Amp, Lifestealer, right clicks, Death Prophet ult.
Well, they do have the Lion, they do have Death Prophet nukes.
A little lacking on wave clear for Newbee.
Could go with a DK, I guess.
Yeah, and wave clear is really important to have against Miracle's Invoker, because that guy will push all the lanes.
Yeah, Fada does it as well, incredibly well. It's something Liquid has been doing since...
Maybe's also been doing it. Seems like all the top Invoker players do that.
You push your lanes with like Forge Spirits or Furion Treants, and if the other team doesn't have enough wave clear to deal with it, you have all this information on the map at all times.
So the Enchantress getting banned.
Oh, I just can't think of what No-Tail's hero would be. What has he played?
He's been playing DK.
Sven. Usually when he plays the DK, it's mid though, and I believe that should be a
Yeah, no, we're definitely
miracle.
going to see No-Tail on the safe lane this
He's
game.
also played Nature's Prophet 3 times recently, Lycan twice, Drow twice, Viper even a couple of times as well.
Ooh,
recently.
they had the one...
Maybe Drow. Oh, Drow's banned. Okay, smart.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would have been a good guess.
Yeah, I'd lean towards the Sven here as well.
Maybe we'll see something totally different and unique.
Meepo.
We're still waiting for it.
Sure, why not?
We're still waiting.
Hey, it's worth throwing it in there in case they pick it.
8 bans on Meepo so far this tournament without being picked.
That's actually quite a few bans.
I'll guess Sven.
Yeah. Okay. Bounty for Newbee.
Oh, this just suits Newbee's playstyle so well.
Yep, it's something that Newbee plays that OG doesn't really play. They play more offensive, ganking heroes, and OG just likes to sit behind their cores and let their cores make the plays.
Where do you think you want to focus as the bounty hunter this game? Is there any particular lane or objective you're looking for? Just general harassment?
In a game like this, you should be able to kind of mess with the Invoker a bit and definitely secure the safe lane and get Batrider out of there. Lion, Bounty, and Lifestealer should be able to totally shut down a Batrider so he doesn't get anything out of the offlane. And OG doesn't seem like they're going to be giving him any support, so he's going to be forced to the jungle probably at level 1.
And there's the Sven.
Yep, I think that's a smart and safe pick.
So No-Tail picks up the Sven for the final pick. Charlie, who's had the better draft?
You know, I said OG in the beginning, but
Don't desert us now, brother.
Are you flopping, Charlie?
yeah, I'm
Yes.
flopping.
Okay.
Flopping.
Peter, who's had the better draft?
I like Newbee, but if Moon gets stuff out of the offlane on Batrider, I think OG's got a better draft.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Newbee. They have great roach taking potential. They have the Howl Lifestealer, which has been incredibly successful this event, and Bounty Hunter suits their playstyle, so definitely Newbee.
Okay, more panel action at the end of our first game in our upper bracket final. Now let's go to the commentary team with Odie, Pixel, and Gods.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, we're ready to get ourselves into the upper bracket finals. OG up against Newbee, two teams. I mean, on paper, this should be the hypest series we've had so far this event. Incredibly high skill levels, and the two draft squads. What are you hoping to see?
I'm hoping to see a lot of fighting, big team fights, farm Sven, late game Miracle Invokers. You've got it all here as far as the first game draft.
Well, let's not wait any longer as we get ourselves into game one, ladies and gentlemen. As we can hear, indeed, the crowd getting very excited. We'll be able to go for a quick rundown. I would like to point to the fact that we've added a new little feature at the top. Gods, we are going to have constantly the mana bars of all heroes shown. So hopefully you guys and girls will enjoy that one extra bit of information on the screen. But here we have it. I mean, OG, they're absolutely beautiful. At the same time, Newbee, they're beautiful. So are the plays as well. Let's talk about the drafts a bit more, Gods, at the beginning here. Newbee feels like they've got something very safe. It's something that they're very comfortable with. OG, they're going for the styles. They're going for the plays. They're looking to style all over Newbee if they want to win this one.
Yeah, when you're first stage picking an Invoker, you're making a statement that you believe your 9k MMR prodigy can just, not necessarily single-handedly carry the game, but putting him on this hero sets you up for success. And for OG, the more interesting pick is the Batrider. In the panel, they kind of question just how effective can this hero be against a Lifestealer. There's a lot of tools for Newbee to kind of deal with it in lane as well as the mid game. So I think Newbee have the more safe standard draft, but OG have the playmaking potential of an Invoker as well as the farming power of a Sven.
And indeed, and as we get ourselves into the laning stage, looks like it's going to be pretty much as expected from the picks. In terms of any lanes that are going to go strongly either way, where are we kind of looking towards? Where's the imbalance going to be in the laning stage?
Both teams, with the Bounty Hunter roaming around, Newbee have that slight edge where they can continually poke and harass. This mid lane is going to be very Newbee favored. Death Prophet already beats Invoker in a 1v1, and with a Bounty Hunter present.
Kaka, what are you doing? You're a madman! Look at this man! He does not care, and now Crit with the reaction, telekinesis onto Moo! Verify, it's not going to save you, son! First blood for Miracle as Newbee go too damn aggressive in the mid lane.
I mean, there's... oh yeah, this lane will go fine. Death Prophet wins this lane. I mean, Death Prophet does beat an Invoker, but not when you dive a tower like that.
What the heck are you doing,
They're
Newbee?
trying to get too much early on. Like, you've already... They got Miracle down to half HP for free, and then they're like, oh, he's half HP, he's not fighting back, let's keep diving. No, you gotta back off. You gotta kind of control that aggression.
I said this series was going to hype a lot of people getting excited, and Newbee off that play, I think they were a little bit too excited. They need to tone it down, keep their cool here. Already up top, Kaka is coming in, but Moon has got a sentry down. Kaka coming in with How, Antoine, this man in a lot of trouble, still just level 1 on the Bat Rider, as Newbee will take a kill onto the Bat, bringing it to 1-1 on the board. The kill going the way of Tron on his line.
Yeah, so we'll see Miracle protected mid by a sentry wall, which means Bounty Hunter may just spend more time at this top lane. If they can prevent the back getting level 2, that's going to give Newbee a big kind of early game advantage. It kind of disallows Moon from rotating back into that jungle, so ideally going for another kill on him soon could really put OG in a tough spot. But he has hit level 2 now, so things get a bit easier for him.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see how Kaka does deal with this laning stage, because of the fact that you've given Miracle that first blood in the mid lane, there's a sentry down ready and waiting for him. It's just questionable of how well is Kaka going to be able to play this early stage of the game, and Moon taking a fair few punches from the Forge Spirit. Kaka will find himself a bounty rune and already pings back up onto the top lane, so they are going to look for another bit of action onto the Bat mid lane. Miracle nearly starting onto Moo there, very close to getting the kill with the Sunstrike, but now Moo with the turnaround, moving in with the Spirit Siphon. Grip Swarm, will it be enough? Not quite. The salve will be cancelled though on Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle. He's even going for last hits. That's how cocky he feels in this mid lane. You get a first blood and he's like, all right, this lane's going pretty well. He knows it's just a level 1 Crypt Swarm after that Spirit Siphon comes out, so getting a little bit greedy here, but he kind of can get away with this. He almost just wants to get this one last creep wave before either going back to base to heal or being ferried some regen.
Yeah, there we have it. Another salve is going to be on its way out to the man. It's going to be interesting if Kaka's able to do anything about that on the bounty. Moving back up to the top rune spot. We'll see how far he comes in, see if he's going to be able to create some kind of disturbance towards the mid lane. And he is, of course, making a beeline for the courier. It has been upgraded. We'll see if it's going to be fine, and it is. So the salve will be delivered safely out to Miracle Stick as well.
Yeah, and that's very good kind of decision from OG just to wait. Kaka, he'll fly overhead. You can't kill it in one right click anyway, so with the tree line there, who's never going to find that courier. Would like to harass Miracle some more in this mid lane, but with the Sentry Ward, this is Knock Me easy. Potential TP rotation from Chris Rubik as well is available.
Bottom lane as well, OG trying to do their best in terms of zoning out KP. He's struggling to find any kind of CS, and just level 2 at the moment. Mid lane trying to go in onto Miracle. Kaka's revealed himself. The TP reactions there. Crit again. Telekinesis onto Moon. OG looking for a turnaround, but they've lost Miracle. Newbee will take the kill. Can Crit bring down this Death Prophet? He hasn't quite got the damage to do so. So this time, Newbee only just barely getting away with it, but they do get the kill, and Moon unable to do anything about this bounty until Kaka will escape. So Newbee managed to get that big kill that they were looking for, taking down Miracle.
Yeah, that's very risky move from Newbee. Sunstrike attempt on bottom rune, almost found Moo going for the rune. Miracle on respawn, threw it down there, kind of expecting the Death Prophet to be going, and barely missed.
And Kaka, of course, just takes the quick way back to base, just in case the Sunstrike was going to be looking for the bounty hunter. I mean, if you're low health on this map, you can't risk any time walking around, especially when it's Miracle on the Invoker.
Yeah, and you look at the CSs, this mid lane, they've been, the two mid lanes, Miracle and Moo, have just been trading right clicks more than they have been CSing. The two carries, they've got double the CS of your mid laners. That's kind of how much a brutal bloodbath this mid has been. Kaka's TP in will refill Moo's bottle, so it will be a slight Newbee favor with the Invoker returning to this mid lane for now. Until Invoker really gets that Midas, you're generally playing slightly from behind in terms of farm against the Death Prophet.
And Moon just trying to play it safe here and looking to the camp at the side. He's certainly had a bit of a tricky time up top. He's not finding much farm. He's getting a fair few levels. Bottom, Kaka coming in. Dropping down another ward flight. And he's not going to be able to catch it out for the time being. Just out of range of bottom lane. In fact, Newbee going to be the ones to make a go on to Notel. He's popped the war cry. Will it save him? Well, with Mr. Chuan turning up on the line, it looks like they've got the lockdown. Can they save this man, OG? They can't. Notel's gone. And Newbee pick up a 3rd kill this game so far.
Really smart rotation there from Bounty, knowing that Chuan can TP in for the kill.
Crypt playing perfectly from the shadows, moving in onto Moo. Moo will throw out the 2 Cyphers. Crypt Swarm as well, trying to do his best to turn it around. The heals, it's a huge amount of help, and Moo can he play his way away?
Armor.
He's going to be fine for the time being. Will just get himself out of that. Incredibly close engagements again in this mid lane. And Sunstrike will be there in 4 seconds. We'll see if Miracle does want to try and go for a play with it. As Invoke comes back up, he's invoked it. He's trying for it. Oh! So close. So damn close.
Oh, that's the 2nd in a row. He barely misses on Death Prophet. Infest on bottom, no tail.
He did not expect this one. Has he got the backup? Has he got the friends? He's only got 1. I don't think it's going to be enough. Can Fly save this man? Doesn't look like he can. Will throw out a magic missile, but Newbee again killing Notel on the Sven.
Meanwhile, top Moon's going aggressive.
Let's see if he can get away with this one. There will be a reaction from the mid laner. Moo coming in on the Death Prophet. Chuan turns around with the initial Hex. They've got the Siphon slow. Can Moo finish this one off? Should have a swarm up again in a second, and he does. Comes out and he'll find the kill. Moo with a fantastic TP reaction.
And this is why Newbee match up really well against OG, because the way Newbee play aggressive, it's always reactionary to their opponents. You look at like the MVP OG series, MVP play aggressive on their own terms. Newbee, they TP rotate in response to what their opponents are doing. They see Batrider making a play on the solo line. It's your Death Prophet mid rotating. It's Hao's Lifestealer reacting to the fact that Sven shows up again bottom lane. So Newbee's already very kind of polished and calculated with when they're getting aggressive and where. And that's where it's very hard for OG to kind of punish this kind of aggression like they did against MVP.
And with the fact that, you know, the bottom lane was going to be tricky. Notel at the moment, he's just cleaning up some of the camps in the jungle here. Playing it safe, getting himself some secure farm.
Also important to note, that was Miracle's first death of the main stage.
That's true.
This guy has been phenomenal on that mid lane.
And I'm sure he'll be a little bit tilted that has tarnished his clean scoreboard, and I'm sure he'll bring up the gameplay and give us a real showing here, which you're going to need to do against Newbee. Kaka, just keeping eyes on Moon at the moment. But OG at the moment playing fairly reserved. They've given the bottom lane up to Crit so he can get a few levels on that Rubik and try and get himself up to that level 6 that they need.
Same thing on the line. Line's level 6 is that little bit scarier because you've got that almost guaranteed pick-off potential with a Finger of Death. So I think OG have to be worried about when and Chuan's going to hit that level 6. And with Chuan farming top, you never really know where Lifestealer is. The beauty of this hero is you can farm jungle as Hao is doing now, but you can also invest into Kaka's Bounty Hunter and pose a kill anywhere on the map. And it's going to farm the jungle camp, and it looks like may go for an infest now.
Here we have it. Let's see what Kaka and Hao want to get done. They don't have any vision around this area, so they're going to send him over just in case Moon was hanging around, scouting. They'll spot him out down there, and then immediately the pings come out. They realize they're not going to find anyone in their own jungle, and Kaka will start to make the movement onto OG's half of the map. And we'll see if he gets away with anything either. It looks like they're a little bit hesitant on trying to move too aggressively, and instead they're just going to kind of hope that Moon comes out a little bit too far on this top lane. But Moon at the moment playing it very safe on the Batrider and just trying to get that level 6 without being taken down again.
Yeah, he's got some levels, but without the farm, the Blink Dagger is really going to be the important timing. Not even sure if you want to get Lasso at level 6 since there's so few initiation opportunities until you have a Blink. Right now, it's all about just getting that farm going.
Well, KP needs to be careful on the bottom lane. There's 3 heroes looking at him, a lot of lockdown available from OG. And indeed, KP just keeping himself just out of distance of the potential of being caught out by a crit telekinesis. Oh, I say that as he does indeed get caught out. The reactions will come through. A huge amount of lockdown from OG, and they'll take the kill. KP, he was playing it safe for a long time, but the greed got the better of him as he tried to go in for the CS and crit immediately with the reaction.
And it's OG bringing enough heroes to get the kill before the TP rotations can come. Newbee are always going to TP respond to aggression like that, but if you get the kill fast enough, that Death Prophet TP doesn't turn that fight around, and OG had just enough damage to get the burst off, and you can't really be affording to give Newbee too much at this stage. If they can get bounties level 6 with Lion, then you're looking at track, Finger of Death, finding kills, and Newbee can really snowball very quickly using this draft of theirs.
Look at this from Moo and Chuan. I mean, Moo, as you said, has just been an incredibly aggressive Death Prophet, more than ready to move out of the lane and look for some action, and here we have it again. Kaka with the lead in. trying to see if they can find anyone off guard on the side of OG, but OG, fortunately for them, 4 members towards the top. Miracle is on his own on the mid lane.
And this ward here means they've got vision on the high ground as well. They scout up behind the tier 1 to kind of check if there's any heroes there.
But look over to the side of OG. They're trying to do something with this group up. They're going in onto the top lane. They want to catch out How. It's a big kill. And again, we've already seen OG. They've got so much control here between the 4 of them. They'll use the lasso to drag him back. The rage will run out and they will have follow cells. But oh, indeed. Oh, OG's creeps working against them here, as he'll offer his services up, trying to deliver him back to Hal's side of the map. But no, Hal's creeps, they'll work back against him, but the Rangers come back off cooldown, and Hal survives. Back up from Newbee TPing in, and they just can't get that kill.
They slightly fumble the chain stun there. I think Fly's stun hit the rage, so they didn't actually get anything out of that. The lasso through the rage was good, but they need to save the venge stun perhaps. Stolen track from Crit, that's a great pickup.
Indeed.
This is one of the best steals you can have at this stage of the game. It kind of sets up, and once you find yourself in a team fight, you can pick up a new spell after you've got 2 or 3 tracks off. Chuan at mid.
Look at that stun. Absolutely perfect from
Here comes the
Chuan.
finger.
You know, they should have the damage for this man, and they will. A second death for Miracle, as you said, yet to die on the main stage up until this game. And Newbee dealing with the Invoker relatively nicely, and Chuan again with that stun. He knew the hero's exact limits.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a support line. Any support player should be able to play this hero. But you see Chuan play it, and you're just like, okay, he really pushes the hero to the limit. He knows every little bit about like the max range on the Earth Spike, and just finds plays that you just don't see other line players make. But OG's still sitting in an alright position in terms of overall farm. Like Invoker, yeah, Miracle's died twice, but I've seen him have worse stats than this in some games where it'd be like 0-4, 0-5 by 15 minutes in because he just gets 3 4-man ganked all day long. So as far as Miracle Invoker starts, this one is decent even with the 2 deaths. No Tail's getting pretty good farm on his Sven. Once the Helmet of the Dominator comes up, you're looking at Ancient stacks, so OG still remaining very efficient.
Absolutely, OG certainly. Oh, let's see if they can find the lead in on it. Can they help this Lion? They can't. OG will find it.
Yeah, just the Invis rune, just being able to camp behind that tier 1 tower, and OG will get their 2nd tower in a row with this.
I mean, look at that as well. I mean, the gold swing from that 900, because they've got this track, as you said. It's a huge steal from Crit, and if they're able to find kills with this at the same time, they will lose the courier. Kaka gets the snipe off. And they'll try and find him. Kaka thrown out the track, but there's your telekinesis just as well. And again, it's going to be another track kill for OG.
Back-to-back track kills for the team with a Rubik. And suddenly, OG get themselves some decent momentum moving forward. This is all before the KP Blink Dagger, so now things get scary. You're looking at an infest into either the Bounty or the Slider. The Slider perhaps being the scarier of the two because of that amplified damage. We saw it yesterday from Liquid against Fnatic. This combo is brutal and can kill pretty much, and you could kill a Sven because if you get him before he pops Warcry, he's not going to have the ability to survive that Crush Infest bomb.
Absolutely, and No Tail is going to be put on a bit of a holder for a couple of minutes because his recipe for the armlet was on the courier. So a bit of a slowdown in the pace of gameplay that OG are going to be able to produce. But of course, that's not going to stop him from farming. But in terms of the fight potential, that's going to hold him back a little bit. And here we have it. How inside KP. They've got the Blink Dagger reveal. They want to go for something big. Both of them smoked up. Let's see what they can kind of find. They're going to head towards the top lane. No one there at the moment. Ideally, they want to go for a wraparound towards the mid. In fact, as I say, that Crit's now TPing in. It's not going to be the biggest of kills, but it would be nice to make sure this man can't throw out any more traps.
Oh, they found a bigger one, though. Miracle.
And let's see if they can get it.
He's been tracked.
And they've trapped him in. It's going to be another kill onto Miracle.
He used a Sunstrike there just for the Midas vision. That was, I'm not criticizing enemy. That's just something I haven't seen before. Just for that bit of efficiency to get your Midas on a big creep, to get that extra bit of XP. Gets him up to level 11, but that just means, hey, Newbee get more for that kill.
Absolutely, yeah, especially with the track as well. And now the push going to come in, and in fact, they might find a kill as well, jumping immediately onto Fly. Moon will try with the reaction, but the 2-man silence from Moon will allow Newbee to move in for more. Open moves onto Fly. They'll take down one Moon. He'll go for the lasso here, but Newbee, they're not going to be frightened of going in for more. They just take down the Batrider, jump in immediately onto Crit, and they'll take down another here, Newbee. Double kill for How. Perfect aggression, and OG, they just don't have the heroes alive to deal with that.
Yeah, and that's where the Batrider into the lifesteal isn't really a direct counter. You can see it there. You get the lasso on him, but if he's in rage form, he takes no damage. You haven't actually got the best follow-up until No Tail gets multiple, like, not just the armlet. He needs, like, armlet, blink, as well as potential, like, BKB or an Echo Saber before he can really fight effectively. How just takes that fight so well. gets the initial pick off and doesn't let the Batrider lasso take him by surprise.
We can see at the moment the comparison Miracle and Moo. Still very close, but the fact that Miracle, yeah, taken down 3 times. But as you said earlier, if there was ever an Invoker that's going to be able to recover, it certainly is going to be Miracles. Double Blinks, of course, available as N0tail goes all in for that one, as he still waits for those components of the armlet.
Yeah. Well, he bought the other armlet components and then sold them just so he can get a blink to fight and kind of farm with. You move around the map that little bit more efficiently with this item, but Courier's back now with his armlet recipe, just needs another kind of 500 gold to finish that one off.
I mean, you imagine as well, with this kind of build, Blink Armlet, at that point, do you expect to see OG go aggressive, or are they cool to just continue to let N0tail farm up until something like the BKB comes online?
They ideally want to be trying to find pickoffs using the Batrider. They don't want to take full-on 5v5 fights, but they need to not let Newbee get out of hand, taking Roches, using Infest Bombs to find pickoffs. They want to fight whenever Exorcism is down, but Newbee, for the most part, going to be the ones controlling the pace of this game. They've got the gold advantage, they've got the Blink Dagger, as well as the Infest Bombs. They're the ones who kind of can have more room to be aggressive. Whereas the Invoker, he wants to farm, he wants to go late game.
And Newbee at the moment, there's a full 5-man down here on the bottom lane. Courier's coming out, we'll see if they're indeed going to look for some kind of action. As they group up, How? He's going to jump inside KP, and here we have it. 5-man smoke from the bottom.
Again, it's right as they get Exorcism. They smoke before with 3 heroes around Moo's Exorcism timing. They get it up again. This time around, they're going to smoke with their whole team, look for a fight. OG themselves smoked up though.
Oh, smoke on smoke here. It's going to be absolutely huge. It's dispelled on KP Moon, but Moon reacts first, jumps in with a Hex for Twan. The counterplay. Moon falling low. No, he's going to be kept alive. Finally goes down. How with the first kill of this fight? Can they find anything in return? They're trying to go onto How, onto the Lifestealer. Moon's there to back it up. Going for the Siphon onto N0tail. The Shuriken flies through Newbee. They'll pick off a second. Eyes back towards the mid. They've lost another 3 heroes down. The finger from Tron. That's going to make it 4. Newbee taking this team fight with absolute fashion. The stolen crush from Crit will allow him to buy himself some time.
Oh, he gets the
around with the finger, and he's actually managed to make the play, taking down Moo. And Crit, I mean, he does the best to find what he can at the end of that one, but still OG getting team wiped.
Chuan gives them the Lion Taunt as he gets that last kill, but Chuan and Crit both making some insane plays. Chuan reacts to the Batrider initiation, and then as Sven blinks him, he blinks away. That's honestly probably the biggest play that Newbee make that fight, is Chuan escaping the Sven, because Chuan comes back in later on to kill off Miracle. If Chuan doesn't get out of there after stopping the Batrider initiation, he dies, and they don't have the damage to kill the Invoker. They only kill that Invoker because of Chuan's ability to stay alive. So amazing play out of him as well as Crit, but it was Newbee getting the better jump. And again, we see the limitations of Batrider as a hero. He gets the Blink Lasso, but there's so much counter initiation for him.
Look at this, Kaka's got eyes onto N0tail. KP was coming over on the Slardar, but N0tail, of course, with that ward up by Newbee's secret shot, was aware that the Slardar was making a beeline straight for the jungle. And realizing they have vision, N0tail plays it safe and backs up.
And Miracle's just picked up a casual 4-star here. This is not an item you'd normally see him get this early on, but you need this against Lifestealer, Slardar, these heroes who have incredible chasing potential, and these melee carries that you just got to get off of you. So it's going to go for a more just kind of cheap, cost-effective item pickup. And you look at the rest of its team, they don't have that great 4-star here. Moon, I mean, well, they don't have that 4-star yet. Moon obviously will be building into one.
Christian got his, hasn't he?
4-star is the counter to Lifestealer. That's not like a set hero. If anything, Batrider doesn't counter Lifestealer, but 4-stars will. So getting 2, 3, 4-stars across the board is going to be the right approach to dealing with a Lifestealer.
I'm just checking out the Roshan pit. No side yet to try and attempt for this one. Both got very good potential in taking it down. It's, I mean, I guess the question is, when do we see one of these sides go for it, or are neither side too happy trying for a Roche whilst the full 5-man of the opposition's alive?
I think Newbee, they could theoretically be going for it now. It's whether or not they want to commit. Okay, it looks like they will. Likely, if they want to do this fast and efficiently, they need to use Exorcism, so it does slow down their pace of the game if they're committing an Exorcism to this, but with amp damage and lifesteal, they may not have to, yeah.
Absolutely, and we are going to see OG, of course, scout that out with the Sunstrike and make their way straight over, but Roshan already at half health. And the question being asked at Newbee, they may get away with this one before OG are in the neighborhood.
This is when you don't exorcism, it gives your opponents time to react.
Let's see what OG can do with that. They'll jump in immediately onto KB lead again. Chuan with these reactions. Hex onto Moon. He's got on the high ground. They've got the sunset down onto Moon. He'll use himself up. No-Tail trying to fight, but how? Takes him down. They've lost the Sven. They'll grab Moon with the telekinesis. They've brought down the Death Prophet 1-for-1 at the moment. Jumping in. KP crusher the fly. Manages to swap Miracle out, but Chuan again with the stuns. Controlling a second core of OG. Fly to fall as well. It's a double kill for Hao. Only Crit and Moon left alive. Kaka, can they kill this? Crit with the stolen exorcism will find one kill again, but it's not gonna matter. NewBee taking a triple for Hao. I mean, Crit, he's getting the steals, he's going for the plays, but each and every time, NewBee, they're just winning the team fights.
Hao's lifesteal is just monstrous at this point. 7-0 and 6, the SMY armlet. OG's making the plays. They get the swap kind of to save Invoker temporarily, but great heads-up play again from Chuan. He ignores the Vengeful Spirit who's in front of him, blinks past Venge just to chase after the Invoker. And this is where OG often have that healing kind of save support. Venge swap is decent, but it's no like Ire Relocate, it's no Sunray, it's no Dazzle Grave, and this is something that NewBee's punishing with their initiations, with their jumps. When you can have so many different heroes that can get on top of you, not just like a Slider or a Lifesteal. There's a line with a Blink Hex or Blink Impale. There's a Bounty Hunter. Death Prophet's also very problematic. All of these heroes you need defensive capabilities against.
Absolutely. I know you brought it up, but again, just to draw attention to the fact that Hao just having absolutely spectacular game. 7-0-6 on this lifesteal. 21 minutes in, it's incredible. And there we have jumping in there, trying to find Moon. Hiding on the cliff at the moment. Looks like he'll be able to play his way out of this one, keeping himself out of harm's way, but only just. I mean, NewBee, they can smell it.
Yeah, that's fortunate for him to get away from that. For OG, they really just need to... They want to be farming at this stage because they're behind and their lineup is very much a late game lineup that needs items to be effective. Even things like a full stuff on Batrad, but more importantly, you're looking at Miracles, Ag Scepter plus BKB or Refresher, the Sven, his BKB plus Daedalus. These are heroes that require 3-4 big items often to really fight, and NewBee's just not... Their job right now is to not give them that space. Keep taking fights, taking towers. If OG are trying to farm, punish them for doing that. They're going to group up, take objectives, and theoretically, they may even be ready to push high ground soon with an Aegis on their side. They're at least going to be able to get multiple out of towers, possibly threaten OG's base.
Absolutely, it just certainly feels like, yeah, as you said, at this point, pretty much impossible for OG to find a 5v5 successfully, especially when Moo's got the exorcism up.
How the Desolator now. This is the pushing item as well as the item which is just going to allow him to 2 or 3 shot heroes.
I mean, look at this as well. It feels like for the last whole minute, No-Tail, he's just been hiding in the trees on the side. I mean, yes, he's getting the experience, but the farm's just not going to be there, and he needs it to even dream of catching up to Hao on this Lifestealer.
He's not looking to initiate here. There is no way you can fight into the Aegis Lifestealer and the entire NewBee squad at this top lane. Perhaps trying to get a catch and stop a TP back or something, but NewBee, if they see multiple heroes bottom, I think they're going to just keep on pushing. Level 2 Exorcism, Desolator, this push is really difficult to stop.
I mean, I'm looking forward to see how OG's going to react to this one, because it's going to be incredibly hard. They don't even have the fortification available. It's already been used. So NewBee could get away with an incredibly easy reaction unless OG have got an answer. And here we have it, Moon jumping in, bringing Hao back. KP immediately find the 2-man crush. The Aegis has been taken away from Hao, but at the same time, NewBee, they're just continuing to fight here, getting the tracks out, forcing Miracle back. No-Tail drained of his mana there by Chuan, and Hao just forcing the Sven back to the base. The finger from Chuan will finish off No-Tail, buys back immediately, but just look at Moo with a 4-man silence of the Cyphers, forcing OG right back into the fountain as they create the space here around the Rex to allow NewBee to finish these off. Can OG keep them off there? Oh, No-Tail, then with the stun, so strike there as well. The Rage is out, but Hao turns on the armlet and immediately chomps through No-Tail. No-Tail being forced back. Hao will turn his attention towards Fly. The Crit Swarm will finish him off. Miracle goes down on the sidelines as well. No-Tail with a Stormhammer, he'll find one, tried to go for the hits, but again, the stun control is too big from NewBee. The armlet toggle will keep them alive, and Miracle buyback. He needs to finish these guys up. He needs to sail across them. Hao turns to Crit, takes down one, now onto Miracle. 1 hit, 2 hit down to half health. The Invoker runs back to base. No-Tail with the stun finds the kill, and OG.
It's not enough though, Owen.
It's not. They've lost the melee racks.
You lost the melee racks and you bought back both Sven and Invoker. You can't even call that a hold at this point. Yeah, you don't have to call GG, but you've just found yourselves in an almost impossible situation to play from. NewBee, They did. I mean, they instantly lost the How Aegis, but the fight that followed with Exorcism and Lifestealer just completely wrecked OG. Only through multiple buybacks do they even come close to. We're not even winning the fight, but just getting a kill on the Lifestealer. It is looking very grim right now for OG.
It really is. I mean, if you have a look at the overall net worth graph, it's over 14,000 in favor of Newbee. I know it might take a bit of time to tick down, but I can only imagine at the most that to just level out. It's very unlikely to swing round at all there after that fight, because as you said, OG just with huge financial investments to hold what, half of the racks, and of course the latter half as well, just being the range racks they keep alive.
Yeah, and even the heroes buying back are kind of affected by the gold penalty, so they're not getting even that much out of some of those kills that they got after the buyback. So Newbee, if they want, can slow it down, wait for the next Aegis, and then just rinse, repeat, do the same thing again. But they don't, again, if you're waiting for Aegis, you're giving your opponents time to kind of recover, finish off an Ag Scepter on Invoker, finish off the Sven's BKB. So they want to fight now before OG are ready.
It has been scanned out. OG know that there's some kind of movement from Newbee coming from across the river. He needs to get himself back. KP, how aggressive is he going to go? Incredibly, jumps in, two-man crush. Miracle's gone Fly. Will be forced away, but Miracle now down for 70. The Shuriken bounce. It will end up finishing off Fly. OG 2 heroes down without buyback. I mean, Newbee at this point, as we're seeing, they do not care about how aggressive they can go. They know that they can get away with it. Going past the tier 2, jumping up to the tier 3. Newbee are just playing this game perfectly.
And KP's Slaughter initiations have just been fantastic time and time again. How's Lifestealer has just not missed a beat. Moo perhaps being the target of OG, so he's died a bit.
Look at this again, jumping in. Could crit save himself? He will. Forces away. This time Newbee won't be able to get the catch. But OG, they need to do their best at holding. They'll have Fly back in a second, but still 30 without that Miracle Invoker.
And with Exorcism up, I imagine Newbee at least going to take a tier 3 tower and force the issue on the high ground here. Unless they're feeling, again, Roshan is respawning soon. Okay, so they're going to back off, play it a bit safer, wait for this next item or two. Hal's farm is just absurd at this point. He's going to have an Assault Crest in no time at all.
That's M19.
I mean, even when you give OG room and say, okay, we're not going to force the high ground and give you guys a potential team fight here with Invoker dead, you're still taking farm objectives elsewhere on the map.
Now, this game is getting incredibly hard for OG, to say the least. 27 minutes in for Newbee to have this kind of lead. I mean, at the start, it was looking like OG were maintaining some sort of a control just on the tempo of this game, but at this point, it's just Newbee.
And everyone's got farm. Bounty now with a Lotus Orb, 27 minutes in to go with the mech. You've got a Lion sitting on 8.5k network. Tron has an ultimate orb. Like, where is this guy printing money from? I don't know how he does this. OG are doing all they can to hold their high ground, but right now, it's really like this smoke is looking to almost just catch Newbee by surprise, because Newbee's probably thinking like we're so far ahead, there's no way they try and fight us, but yeah, OG need to go aggressive.
It could be big for OG. If they can take a fight before the Rosary spawn and get away with coming out successfully, but again, it's been rumbled. Kaka starts to lay down the tracks, Lotus Orb onto him, so he can't really jump into this man. Moon still tries for some sort of initiation, but Newbee with the counter and the bat's gone. Moon getting forced in, the mech's there, the Sunstrike, it's going to be too early, out of time there. No-Tail's trying to move in with the BKB, but at the same time, KP on the back with the crush. And look at this, the control from Trump, finding the perfect angle, getting the stun. How with a triple kill, and GG is called. Coming into this one, Gods, I think people thought this would be close, but this was not close at all.
Right. Everything on Newbee came together perfectly. Like, you could look at, and you could talk about any one of their players and just be like, they played perhaps one of the best games of the tournament for each individual player. Like, other than that First Blood mishap, Newbee played a perfect game. This was just some very polished Dota coming out from the Chinese squad. OG, like, they thought they had a plan with the first stage pick Invoker, but it just felt too slow-paced against the Newbee aggression.
Absolutely. And for Newbee to come out with a performance this dominant in the upper bracket finals of